Hi boys and girls, welcome back. Today we're going to be starting a new author study by one of our favorite authors, Patricia Polacco. We've read her books before, now I'm going to read a few more. But before we start, we have to start with our riddle. Why didn't the teddy bear want to eat any more cake? Think about it. Today's read is called Thundercake. Makes me hungry. That's a hint about what we're going to do for our science today. It's written and illustrated by Patricia Polacco. On sultry summer days at my grandma's farm in Michigan, the air gets damp and heavy. Storm clouds drift low over the fields. Birds fly close to the ground. The clouds glow for an instant with sharp crackling light. Then a roaring, low, tumbling sound of thunder makes the windows shudder in their panes. The sound used to scare me when I was little. I loved to go to Grandma's house. Babushka, as I used to call my grandma, had come from Russia years before. But I feared Michigan's summer storms. I feared the sound of thunder more than anything. I always tried to hide under the bed when the storm moved near the farmhouse. This is the story of how my grandma, my babushka, helped me overcome my fear of thunderstorms. I always love her illustrations. Grandma looked at the horizon, drew a deep breath, and said, "This is Thundercake baking weather. All right, looks like a storm is coming to me." How can you tell a storm's coming? What colors make it look like a storm is coming? "Child, you come out from under that bed. It's only thunder you're hearing," my grandma said. Remember, she used to get scared. And what I love her, these are true stories. A lot of what she writes are true stories based on her own experiences. The air was hot and damp. A loud clap of thunder shook the house, rattled the windows, and made me grab her close. "Steady, child," she cooed. "Unless you let go of me, we won't be able to make a thunder cake today." "Thunder cake?" I stammered as I hugged her even closer. "Don't pay attention to that old thunder, except to see how close the storm is getting. When you see the lightning, start counting real slow. When you hear the thunder, stop counting. That number is how many miles away the storm is. Understand? We need to know how far away the storm is so we have time to make the cake to get in the oven before the storm comes, or it won't be real thunder cake." I'm trying to read with a Russian accent. Not too good, but it's fun. Her eyes surveyed the black clouds way off in the distance. Then she strode in the kitchen. Her worn hands pulled a thick book from the shelf above the wood stove. "Let's find that recipe, child," she crowed as she lovingly fingered the grease-stained pages of her to a creased spot. "Here it is, thunder cake." She carefully penned the ingredients on a piece of paper. "Now let's gather all the things we need," she exclaimed as she scurried towards the back door. When we were by the barn door, a huge bolt of lightning flashed. I started counting like Grandma told me to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then the thunder roared. 10 miles away. It's 10 miles away, Grandma said as she looked at the sky. "About an hour away," I said. "You have to hurry, child. Gather the eggs. Careful," like she said. "Eggs from mean old Nellie Peckhan." I was scared. I knew she would try to peck me. "I'm here. She won't hurt you. Just get them eggs," Grandma said softly. The lightning flashed again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 miles, Grandma reminded me. Milk was next. Milk from the old kick cow. As Grandma milked her, kick cow turned and looked mean right at me. I was scared. She looked so big. Zip went the lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I counted. Boom went the thunder. 8 miles, child, Grandma cooked. Now we have to get the chocolate and the sugar and the flour from the dry shed. I was scared as we walked down the path from the farmhouse through a tangleweed woods to a dry shed. Suddenly the lightning split the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ba-boom! Crashed the thunder. It scared me a lot, but I kept walking with Grandma. Another jagged edge of lightning flash as I crept into the dry shed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Crackle, crackle, boom, kaboom! The thunder bellowed. It was dark and I was scared. I'm here, child, Grandma said softly from the doorway. Hurry now, we haven't got much time. We've got everything but the secret ingredient. I wonder what the secret ingredient is. 3 overripe tomatoes and some strawberries, Grandma whispered as she squinted at the list. I climbed high up the trellis. The ground looked a long way down. I was scared. I'm here, child, said her voice, steady and soft. You won't fall. I reached for 3 luscious tomatoes while she picked the strawberries. Lightning again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kabang, kaboom! The thunder growled. We hurried back to the house, into the warm kitchen, and we measured the ingredients. I poured them into a mixing bowl while Grandma mixed. I churned the butter for the frosting and melted chocolate. Finally, we poured the batter into the cake pans to put them into the oven together. Lightning lit the kitchen. I only counted to 3 and the thunder rumbled and crashed. 3 miles away, Grandma said, and the cake is in the oven. We made it. We have a real Thundercake. As we waited for the cake, Grandma looked out the window. For a long time, why aren't you afraid of thunder? You're too brave, she said as she looked right at me. I'm not brave, Grandma, I said. I was under the bed, remember? But you got out from under the bed, she answered. And you got eggs from me Nellie Pecan. And you got milk from Kit Cow. You went through the tangleweed woods to the dry shed. You climbed the trellis in the barnyard. From where I sit, you're a very brave person. Only a very brave person can have done all those things. I thought and thought as the storm rumbled closer. She was right. I was brave. People can't be afraid of a sound, child, she said as we spread out the tablecloth and set the table. When we were done, we hurried into the kitchen to take the cake out of the oven. After the cake had cooled, we frosted it. Just then the lightning flashed, and this time the whole sky lit up the whole sky. Even before the last flash had faded, the thunder rolled, boom, crash, boom, just above us. The storm was here. Perfect, Grandma cooed, just perfect. She beamed as she added the last strawberry to the glistening chocolate frosting on top of the Thundercake. Looks yummy, doesn't it? As rain poured down on our roof, Grandma cut a wedge from each of us. She poured us steaming cups of tea from the samovar. When the thunder roared above us so hard it shook the windows and rattled the dishes in the cupboards, we just smiled and ate our Thundercake. From that time on, I never feared the voice of thunder again. Now, here's the recipe for her Thundercake. Cream together shortening, sugar, vanilla, and 3 eggs. 1 cup cold water and pureed tomatoes. She puts tomatoes in her cake. Sift to get for the dry ingredients, cake flour, dry cocoa, baking soda, and salt. I'll take a picture of the recipe if anybody would like it. That's a fun book, and part of our science is going to be making cupcakes, just like this book. Why do we have each ingredient? We're going to make 4 different kinds of cupcakes. And 1 we're going to make regular, the last 3 we're going to leave out in an ingredient and see what happens. But before we start, we need to answer the riddle. Why didn't the teddy bear want any cake? Because it was stuffed. I'll see you in my kitchen. Bye-bye.